Hey guys, good night. How are you? It is Safia here, and I am coming on a little bit later than I had originally planned because I've been having tech issues. I had everything set up to go on my screen, on my computer. My camera was working, my microphone was working, my Facebook Live was working. And then all of a sudden I went live and into 3 minutes into it, the whole thing shut off and I just couldn't get back on live. So it's been a little bit of a frustration for me, but it's all good. I promised you guys that I would come on tonight and I would do a live video. And so I wanted to make sure I honored my commitment, and I am here live. So I was going to go live from my business page, but for some reason it's not working there. It's only working in the group, so who knows? But what I wanted to talk to you guys tonight about, and if you're here and you're joining me, say hi. If you're watching the replay, say hi as well. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight was giving yourself permission to ditch the script. So this topic actually came to me because I was on a coaching call today with one of my newer clients, and it's something that many of my clients, when they first come to me, especially if they're newer in business, struggle with, right? They struggle with figuring out how to actually show up on their sales calls so that it leads to the person actually wanting to hire them. So some of my clients, they get sales calls booked in, and when they do, they struggle there to actually take those calls and convert them into paying clients. So in this particular case with the client that I'm referring to from today, when we started to peel back the layers, what I found out was that she was actually following a script that she had been given and that she has been following for a very long time, that she'd been given from one of her sales one of her sales trainings. So here's the thing, you guys, this is something that I see happening so often in this industry, especially if you are a newer coach or a newer entrepreneur. It's that you are told and trained to follow a script for your sales calls, for your live streams, for, whenever you're talking about your business. So here's what I want to say. It's not that I'm saying that it's not important for you to have some sort of a structure in place, or for you to have a strategy in place, and even for you to have a set of strategic questions that you're going to be using on your call, or talking points, right? It's not that I'm saying that you don't need some sort of a guide or an outline or some sort of a guidepost, especially when you're new in business. But the thing is that I see happening so often is that people get so caught up in their head around delivering the script and getting all their boxes checked and hitting all the right questions at the right time, that they forget the most important thing, which is, let me just turn my camera real quick. The most important thing, which is actually taking the time to create that connection with the person who is on the other line. So when I first started out in my business, I know that, and like I said, with many of the clients, when they first come to me, I know that I was also told, and I was also trained, and I also heard that you have to follow a specific script when you're on a sales call. And I know that when you're starting out, it can be scary. It can feel really scary to trust yourself enough to go off script and to actually really just deviate from the questions or the things that you've been told or the things that you've been trained to say. And that can be really scary in the very beginning. But here is what I know to be absolutely true. Absolutely true. is that the conversion that you're hoping for when you're talking to that potential client, the conversion, it lives in creating that connection with the person. You're not going to be able to connect with your potential client if your head is stuck in the script. Hi, Joanne, how are you? You're not going to be able to create that connection if you're stuck in a script. If you're so busy trying to figure out what's the next question that I have to ask, or being so caught in your head around making sure that you're sticking to that script and you're touching all the right points and that you're getting all the talking pieces out. You're going to be losing so many of those precious nuggets that your potential client will be sharing with you if your head is just focused on the script. So again, I'm not saying that, you shouldn't have some sort of a guidepost. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a structure or a set of questions or a strategy behind your sales calls. In fact, I teach my clients how to win at sales using connection as the only strategy on their sales call, like the only strategy on your sales calls, right? And so I know that you need to have those pieces in place. But what I know is that the more you're in the script, the less you're actually paying attention, and the less you're actually able to really hear what that person is saying. Because here's the thing, they're coming to you already asking for help. They're already coming to you because they need help. They recognize that you're probably one of the people that might be able to help them. They recognize that you might be able to answer their questions and give them support. So they're already halfway there. And if you've ever been on a sales call and you're listening to your potential client, most of the times they'll open up so much to you, right? And it's in those moments that you need to really be able to know when to disconnect from the script, when to disconnect from the call, the structure and the questions, and really lean in and pay attention and connect with the person who's on the other line. So that's what I wanted to say tonight, because like I said, I see it happening so often, right? I see it happening where it's like, but I know I have to follow these things. And when it comes time for the objections, I know I need to be able to sing X, Y, or Z to overcome the objection. And when it's time for me to present my offer and pitch my services, it has to be in a certain way. Again, when you're starting out, I get that it's important to have and to feel like you have that script in front of you so that you don't lose yourself, right? And you might be one of those people who need that structure more, or you might be somebody who is more loose and you can just improvise as you go. What I'm saying again, you guys, is not that I want you to feel like you just go into it and blow caution to the wind and just shoot the breeze, right? It takes time to build up that confidence and to get to that place, right? I know when I was first starting out, I really felt like I needed something as well. But like I said, the more I realized, it always felt off for me. I always felt out of sync. I always felt like I wasn't really connecting with my potential client. And that's one of my core values in my business and in my life. And so the more I gave myself permission to ditch the script and trust myself, the more powerful my sales conversations became, the more powerful my sales calls were, not only from a connecting point of view with my potential client, but from actually converting those people into clients. So I know that my clients and I teach this process to my clients, and my clients have seen doubled, sometimes even tripled their conversion rates when they're able to deviate from that script, when they're able to really lean in and connect. And listen, sometimes I think it's even better for you to create your own little guide and your own little questions that you feel that's authentic to you, right? And not feel like you need to be so scripted and need to be in this box and need to be talking with these particular talking points, and you lose yourself. You don't show up authentically. I want you to be able to give yourself permission to just be in the conversation. Really lean in, really listen, really connect and serve, and with integrity, offer your services, because that's how you win. That's how you will win their trust. That's how they will, that's what will make them want to work with you. So again, I apologize for being late. I was having all sorts of technical glitches, and sometimes the universe just does what it has to do. But I did want to come on. I did want to deliver this because it was something that came up for me today when I was having one of my calls with my newer clients. And it is something that I know a lot of newer entrepreneurs, newer coaches, and when my clients, when they first come to me, I know this is something that they struggle with a lot. And it doesn't have to be hard. Sales is not hard. Sales conversations and sales calls does not need to be overly complicated and hard and stressful. And you don't need to be like praying to the gods before the calls. You just need to be able to drop down into your heart, drop down into that place where you're really, really paying attention to the person on the other line and really, really bridging the gaps and building that connection and nurturing that connection with them throughout the call, and then leading them beautifully and organically and very authentically into whatever it is that you're offering. All right, I will be back on here a little bit later. Take care. Thank you for watching. If you are watching the replay, if you have any questions or any comments, drop them into the comments box and I will be sure to go back and answer. Take care, you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.